This week on the World Triathlon podcast, we're heading into the snow. On Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and 21st of March, Andorra hosts the World Triathlon Winter Championships, showing all weekend on triathlonlive.tv. On the start line will be Sandra Mairhofer, winner of the Winter Cup in Asiago last month, who gives us the lowdown on this triathlon with a twist. Then we speak to World Triathlon's very own Enrique Quesada to find out more about the history of the sport and its possible inclusion in the Winter Olympic programme. So Sandra, welcome to the podcast.
Hi everybody.
Congratulations on the win in Asiago.
Thank you.
Still buzzing from that?
Yeah, kind of. It was a beautiful journey, a beautiful day for me and for Italy. I'm very, very happy with the result.
And you've been national winter triathlon champion 3 times now, 3 years in a row, right?
4 in a row.
4 in a row.
Yeah.
Right. But this was your first podium at the cup level, though, right?
Yeah, it was a special weekend because we have done the World Cup on Friday, and 2 days later on Sunday we had a Italian national championship, and I was able to win both races in 1 week. So it was really a really special weekend.
Was that on the same course, both races?
They were the same, just the World Championship. They have been, we have done 1 loop less, I think. Yeah. So my legs were grateful.
I'm sure. So yes, obviously, we tend to normally talk about Olympic standard distance and sprint distance, sort of road triathlon on here. So it's nice to mix it up a bit. Tell us, I suppose, the ins and outs of winter triathlon and the setup. Yeah, the course being slightly different is part and parcel of winter triathlon, right? Obviously the venue and everything is set up, but the week before the race is when the decision is made about the exact nature of the course. So explain sort of why that is and how that works out.
Yeah, it's always an adventure, right? Winter triathlon, because you never know exactly the distance you are racing, or exactly the altitude or the elevation that you have to compete on race day, because it depends a lot on the snow conditions, on the weather forecast, and so it depends also. Everything is a last last week decision. So in Asiago we have a really tough course. It's always hilly and up and down, so it's very muscular too. And but they were always every year able to prepare a perfect race course.
Sounds like a nightmare for the organizers.
Kind of, yes. But this year not, because there were mountains of snow, and so I think it was easier this year to organize a good race.
And in terms of race distances, there isn't the equivalent of a standard and a sprint distance. No, it's always within a certain bandwidth, or however you'd say, like, the distance is
the distance is always kind of similar, never similar, because and never the times. You can't compare one race with the other, because if there are more hills or the snow is slower or faster, it depends on a lot of conditions. But just to say, we do a run about 7-8 Ks, and then we do mountain bike about to 11-13 Ks, and then cross country skiing about 10 K, more or less. Mountain biking is always the longest part, and then cross country skiing, and then the run. And about the time, we do the race about 1.5 hours, more or less, the first one.
So, I mean, how specialist are your shoes, for example, a mountain bike compared to a standard mountain bike, as it were? Like, how much added kit is there?
It depends also a lot of the conditions of the snow, because running, you have to look a little bit how the snow is, how wet the snow is, how slippery the snow is, how deep you go into the snow, because sometimes you use larger shoes to not go deep in the snow. And sometimes when it's very hard or icy, you can also use your track shoes that you use on the track, because you can go fast on the ice. For the mountain bike, it's pretty much the same as you do in summer. You have to choose a little bit more carefully the profile, and you use maybe a lower pressure. I, for example, do 1 bar for both. A lot of people do the mistake that they do too much air in the so it's always slippery. You have to be on a low pressure, and you're going more easily on the snow. You have to watch the speed quite closely because it depends always on the snow conditions. If it's slippery or when it's icy, you can go very, very fast. You don't have to. But when it's slippery, when the sun is out, when it's a little bit hotter, then it's not dangerous. I think it's more funny because it's more slippery, more technical. And so it depends a lot of the snow conditions. So when it's steep, when it's hard, when it's icy, you can go up. But when it's not so icy, when there is a lot of snow, that it's difficult to go up. So you have to go off of your bike and run up the hill with your bike. So, but you never know what to expect before.
And you were saying about like needing different shoes for different conditions as well. So how many like types of shoe could you use? Like, so you'd use a larger one so you don't sink in so much. So that obviously, you must have to adapt your running style slightly to do that as well, do you?
Yeah. On the snow, I think it's important to run very not heavily, because so you don't sink in. You have to run carefully. And yes, I have 3 shoes to always. It depends on the conditions which one I use. One for icy, one for really fresh snow, and one kind of in the middle.
And Andorra, I know it snowed over the weekend a bit, but the temperature is sort of creeping up there as well. So what are your kind of ideal conditions? What are you hoping for over the next couple of weeks that you will find when you get up there?
I think that World Triathlon is always doing the best to organize the best events. So I think that they know that we will find a good temperature to race. And because sometimes in the afternoon it's hot, but if we are really racing at 9 o'clock in the morning, so the snow is hard again, and we can do a great race, I think.
So you have actually been racing all through the winter, have you? In local Italian races and so on. There's obviously, Asiago was the first World Cup of the World Triathlon circuit and then the World Championships, but there's a whole season of them across Italy, the Italian region.
This year we have done 3 races. One race before the World Cup. The race was at Konya in Val d'Aosta. They always do a winter triathlon before, and we've done this race before. So, and afterwards I've done the World Cup, and then the winter triathlon, the World Championship, and last weekend I was in Austria to do another winter triathlon.
And as far as hoping for winter triathlon to break through into the Winter Olympic program, can you see that happening?
I think that the winter triathlon is really a beautiful sport. It takes you out to the nature, and it's really spectacular too, because we are racing on loops. So the people who watch will see us 3, 4, 5 times per discipline, and so I really think that it can be awesome to watch it on TV and to enter in the Olympic program.
And in Asiago, were there 5 different nations on the podium in the end?
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah, there were 5 nations, and all the nations are doing great work, and they're sending the best athletes. So there are some nations that they really believe in it and push the winter triathlon. I'm happy with that.
Was it Kenya that sent a team
there
to
were
Asiago last year?
Two Kenyans. They were racing at Asiago. They had a lot of fun. They did a good race. They were awesome. And I see that every year more people participate at the races, and that a lot of people find it very beautiful to be part of this winter triathlon family, and it's awesome to see.
And there's obviously the relay element as well in winter triathlon, isn't there?
Yeah.
How does that vary? How does that compare to the Summer Olympic equivalent?
We do. There are just 2 athletes racing, 2 from the same national team. The woman starts first. She does every single the whole winter triathlon. Then you pass over to the man. Then again takes the same woman to do all the triathlon, and then again the same man to do the triathlon and to finish the relay.
Right, but again, it's like what, sort of less than half the distance of the full.
Yeah, less than half the distance. So less than half. Mm-hmm.
Do you represent Italy and you're part of the team for that?
Yeah, I've represented them 2 times. Last year with Pippo La Mastra at Asiago, that we were able to get to the finish line behind the Russian team and to get the silver medal for Italy. That was a very emotional moment for us. It was very, very...
I bet the crowd was going wild, wasn't it?
Yeah. In hometown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. And so for you personally, sort of, heading 2 weeks away now, just under, how are you feeling? How have preparations for you gone? And do you think, is this the year that you can punch through to that podium?
Preparation is going well. I have done the races where also the race yesterday went very good and was feeling good. And so I'm looking forward to racing Andorra. So podium, I don't know, because there are a lot of powerful Russian winter triathletes that are always very fast and strong. But you never know. I keep the podium in my mind, and I will try to get there.
What are you able to do so you're a PE teacher as well, right?
Yeah.
So in a kind of normal week, what are you able to devote time-wise to training?
More or less, maybe 2 hours a day. I'm able to train. Okay. On a work week, and on the weekend a little bit more. Well,
thanks ever so much for taking time out of your preparations for Andorra. We obviously wish you the best of luck.
Thank you a lot.
Now, Enrique Quesada is results director at World Triathlon, where he has been a central figure in the development of the sport for many years. Enrique, hello.
Hello.
We've spoken to Sandra Mairhofer. She talked us through the format and race distances and equipment involved in winter triathlon. So it'll be good to get a bit of the backstory behind the sport itself. And so did winter triathlon first emerge or first become part of the then ITU scene in the early to mid-90s?
The first evidence I have about winter triathlon, it is from the 1987, in one race which I competed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Spain. And I think everyone a lot of people is looking to have a winter activity, because okay, we have triathlon in summer. It was quite successful in the whole world, but when the winter is coming, you can't go to swim. And the first idea I remember is to have winter triathlon even before the duathlon, at least in this southern part of Europe. The winter triathlon appears before the duathlon.
Right.
And the idea in that moment was to, okay, similar with the triathlon, is doing long things and covering different parts of the region, etc. And the first idea happened was to have the run in a village with the people, etc., and then take the bike and go up to a winter resort or to the snow, and finally to have the ski in the on the snow. No?
So the bike was fundamentally going to be like a climb up to the top to then ski back down.
A climb up, and it was like this for a number of years.
Right.
This model.
In which part of Spain were you having these first races? Which area of Spain?
It was in Alto Campo, in Reynosa, Reynosa Alto Campo, and the winner was Perico Delgado, the winner of the Tour of France.
Right. A bit of an all-rounder then.
Yeah, and it was organized mostly by a marketing company. This is why the big names of the cycling were with us, and we have TV exposure. It is a special thing, and okay, it was successful, and this was repeated every year, and we have in different parts of Europe more or less the same model. We have in Italy, we have in France, we have in Switzerland, with the same model being the run in a village and the ski in the ski resort, and the bike connecting both spaces. These have, as you can imagine, a lot of organizational difficulties, because the two transition areas are separated 20 kilometers one from the other, and the second transition area involves skis and poles. Okay, it is a big structure to be moved from the check-in in transition 1 to in transition 1 till transition 2. And I remember a couple of times when the winter conditions are really winter condition and it is snowing, etc. The cyclists or the triathletes catch the truck carrying the material, because they have to put the chains on the wheels, and they advance very slowly. Yeah. And specifically, I remember one thing, they catch the truck more or less half kilometer before transition 2, and then they mount the transition in the moment the cyclist catch the truck, and they improvise a transition there, and they started competing there. And this was okay, this model for a number of years. And as you can imagine, we can't block the traffic, because normally it is the only road to the mountains, and okay, it's weekends, and the business
other people are wanting to use it.
Have to move. We can't block the roads, and this affect a lot the traffic, and the supporters like to see the people, and then they go with the cars. It was okay, a bit difficult to organize this in a proper way. And in parallel, in summer, we were running for the Olympics. We changed also the model in summer to have multi-laps, TV-friendly, stadium model. And we thought, why not to copy this model to the winter, to try to put in a stadium. And I don't know who, Les McDonald, Michel Ginoux, or in a meeting, someone said, why don't bike on the snow? But this never happened before, neither in cycling, neither. But
there was no history of biking on snow before that, no?
No, it was not. Okay, we are talking about the 90s, the late 90s, 98, 99. And, but you are crazy. No, we can. And also considering that in the Olympic Charter, it is written that to be part of the Winter Games, the sport have to be on snow or on ice. This is a condition to be in the Winter Games. Then we saw a bigger possibility to get in the Olympics as well with the winter if we move everything on the snow. And okay, crazy idea to bike on the snow, but
possible.
I remember Les McDonald saying, "Do you know one of the most favorite words of Samaranch is why not?" Okay, why not? Then we tried. We tried on the snow, and okay, they have different difficulties to prepare the tracks, to avoid the bike to get deep in the snow, but okay, if in a lot of conditions where they have another advantages, we copy the stadium model of the summer triathlon, and we take out all of this difficulty using the roads a lot of times with snow on the road, or all of these difficult things disappear.
Yeah.
We add another difficulties, which is to prepare a track to be able to ride the bike on it, and we changed. And the last championship in the old model was in 2000, and in 2001 we changed to the new model, which is the one we have now. And
so the bikes. So it's all about compacting that snow on the bike course, is it?
Exactly. Yeah. And the major problem is when the temperature is about 0 degrees and start melting, and this is the problem. If we have below 0 degrees and with a proper preparation, you can ride the bike without major problems. We need to adapt the rules as well in order to have wider tires, because the thinner tires, it is like a knife and you cut and you get. Then you need thicker. Now with the fat bikes, it is excellent. Because the more surface, the more you can go on difficult surfaces. Then and then the model change. We run also on the snow. In some, depending on the condition of the snow, some athletes are wearing speed shoes. To be able to run faster on the snow. And what changed dramatically was the image of the sport. Everything on the snow gives an image, spectacular, especially when it is sunny. There is a lot of light, blue sky, snow. The images are really nice. No, the plastic of this image are really wonderful. No. And okay, this was the major change in the history, and this is where we are now.
And how was that change welcomed or otherwise by the athletes? Obviously, like, you know, totally different equipment, different techniques and skills, like the spikes, the different bikes. I mean, yeah. From one World Championships to the next, did the field change dramatically? Did some people just say, "Look, this isn't for me"? And
no, the athletes adapt very well because, okay, all of them are multi athletes. They are not specifically winter triathletes, and the real top athletes, they have a very good ski base. Most of we have a number of them, Paulo Riba, Apiguelo, and that time they belong before to the national teams of ski, of cross-country ski. Then their base sport is the ski. Then if there are changes in the other sport which are not the prominent for them, it is not a big change. If we change cross-country ski to mountain ski, probably this is a big change for them. But maintaining the ski as cross-country ski, even also the cross-country skiers, they are doing a lot of things in summer, different kind of trail races,
a lot of biking,
mountain bike,
yeah.
different triathlon, then it is not a major problem to change the bike from road to mountain bike.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so obviously the process, the bid to get into the Winter Olympic program is still ongoing. What are the main criteria that the IOC are looking for and that still need to be done, or like in terms of the growth of the sport? Is it largely down to how widely practiced the sport is?
I think we need a bit more universality on the sport, because the other criteria that is nice to be in the Olympics is to have a good TV product, and the TV product is really good. Good. Yeah. Then I think we need to be a bit more around the world. Now we are mostly in Europe. We have some races in Asia as well, in Japan, in China, in Kazakhstan. We have some races in Canada, in the USA. In Canada, under a different model with the
S3
speed
right?
skating,
yeah.
Speed skating instead of bike. They have good races in Quebec with this. The problem is we are splitting the sport in two, which is not
yeah.
It is not the better strategy, the best strategy to afford the Olympics, to have with two different sports. But okay, it exists. They have
so the
support
skating,
among the locals. Then it is good. Yeah?
The skating is replacing which
Bike.
element? The bike. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So there is no racing there with the mountain biking on the snow as part of the Winter Triathlon in Canada, no?
Yeah, in this race in Quebec, these have things in one way easier because you don't need to travel with a bike. Because, okay, traveling for this sport with a number of pair of skis, bicycle, okay, it is a bit more difficult than in summer. You have a number of toys to carry.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially in the ski, because you need different kind of skis depending on the quality of the snow. Then at least you have to travel with 3-4 different pair of skis. And
and as far as it kind of breaking ground in places like, I don't know, Argentina or Chile or the US, so that there's no US athletes on the male start list in Andorra, for example. So is that just by virtue of the current sort of landscape for the sport there, or has it been like that for quite a long time?
Okay, I think we should not consider this year as a picture about what is happening. I'm sure that the US athletes are not traveling for different reasons. We had a good American team from 2000 to 2010. They have a good number of athletes and good athletes as well, and Canadian coaching the Swedish team at that time, and they have some races, but okay, in fact it is not as popular as it is in Europe. The South America, I have been a couple of times in races in South Argentina. The problem there is different, and it is more related with the global warming. The snow in South Argentina is getting less and less, which is okay. It's not only in South Argentina, also in South Europe, we are facing this problem as well. Yeah. The speed skating races in Netherlands almost disappear because the ice disappear from the canals, and it is really a sample about what is happening.
But and therefore it's a little bit of a chicken and egg situation. Then obviously you would get a lot more athletes from around the world taking part if it was in the Olympic program, and then at the same time without that breadth of participation.
This is the wheel. No, it's we have we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are a lot of locations in a lot of really prepare for cross-country ski or biathlon stadiums, and they are done. And they are done with grandstands, natural grandstands. They are homologated by International Federation of Ski or of Biathlon, and they are. It is really easy to use them to have nice events, and everything is ready. The cabling for the cameras is ready. Everything is done in advance for in summer to have big events in winter, and they are there. We need to only to find some room in the calendar to include our races there, because trying to invent from zero a venue in the middle of the mountains, it is really difficult. And also in these venues we have the production of artificial snow, then everything is easier. But okay, we need to find the place and the budget. To rent this stadium, it is clearly more expensive than to rent a piece of grass somewhere, but the product is totally different as well. When we had events like in Keligrad Stay in Romania, in one of these venues, the result is really wonderful.
Spectacular.
Because and the stadium concept is there. They have bridges, and you pass on top and under, and everything is happening in a very small space. But you have already, and from the grandstand you see a lot of the circuit, because we don't need to reinvent anything, to use what we have.
No, but by the same token, there's also the mixed relay element, isn't there? So that does add a different layer to the offering as well, and it's obviously proven massively popular for the Summer Olympics.
Yeah, okay. In winter, in order to have more teams, we implemented the 2x2 model. Then we have women, men, same women and same men doing the relay in order to have bigger fields. Which to have a race with 7-8 athletes is nothing. To have with 20 is a different thing.
10 days time will be all eyes on Andorra. And
I will watch remotely. Unfortunately, I will not be able to travel by that time.
Well, obviously we hope you're feeling much better by then, and yes, so for those listening, obviously triathlonlive.tv will be showing all the racing from Andorra across the weekend from the 19th. So Enrique, thank you very much for giving us that
thanks to you
historic run through of the sport. It's very interesting, and wish you a speedy recovery.
Thank you.